Welcome back to the Unlock Potential podcast. On this week's episode, we have Daly from Gloss Nails. We spoke about how he opened his own salon, the prices in the beauty industry, and some of the challenges we both face owning salons. Enjoy the episode. Hey Aaron,
Hello.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So for any listeners or anybody who doesn't know who you are, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Aaron. I'm a nail technician from Dublin. I'm the proud owner of Gloss Nails in Crumlin.
Yeah, I think that's why I've done a course with you, nail art course.
That nail art course, yeah.
You're very good at nail art, yeah, you're unreal.
Thank you so much. The nail art courses, they fly. I'm actually in the middle of planning another one now for like July, so yeah.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah.
And so how long did you say you were open? How did you start?
Right, so I'll take you back to maybe like the beginning, how I kind of got into nails and stuff like that. So I think it was like 2019, early 2019. I was working with a friend of mine who was like a freelance interior designer. And basically, long story short, she kind of got out of the industry for a while. So I was kind of left like not having a little bit of a job, or I was kind of out of routine and stuff like that. And I'd always kind of like followed... I'm looking back now and thinking back now, I used to always like just follow like celebrity nail artists and stuff like this.
Sean Legend.
Yeah,
he's unreal, isn't he?
Anastasia, like all these. And I never like was like, I never had like the want to become a nail technician. I just followed them out of like, I liked what they do. So I ended up like being out of a job early 2019, and I was just like, God, what am I going to do now? Like, what am I going to do now? And I was kind of getting to the stage now, I think I was like 27 at the time, a little bit frustrated.
How old are you now?
I'm 30 now.
Oh my God,
yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Wow, you don't look 30.
I know, it's all the injections.
That is mad. I thought you were about 24.
Yeah, no, 30, yeah. Just turned 30 in
way.
February. Yeah. No, it's all the injections.
Yeah.
But so I was about 27. I was getting to like the stage where I was getting a little bit frustrated with myself. I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? And everyone was kind of like falling into their careers and stuff like that. So I kind of just said to myself, what was I doing? I remember like it was like a bit of an aha moment. Like I was like, I don't know, I was somewhere and I was like, I'm going to do a nail course. I was like, that's it.
No.
And I was around a couple of friends like, I'm going to do a nail course. I was like, almost shouting it like. So basically, I think it was around the March, I'd done a nail course with a place that went and done it. And I don't know, I kind of just didn't get what I wanted from it. I qualified, got my certificate, all that kind of thing. It was acrylic and gel combo course.
Yeah.
So I done it, but I don't know what it was. It didn't happen for me, like, you know. But I still put the graft in. I was at home. Like at the time, I had no job. So I was literally just sitting at home, like
you had the
practicing all the time. So then I was getting to kind of summertime. I was like picking up a little bit, but I was still like, I just couldn't grasp it. You know how hard acrylic is, like, do you know what I mean? Anyone who's listening, it's like, I think if I knew how hard it was in the beginning,
it takes about a year until you're actually like, I'm 100%. Decent.
And if you stop doing it for 6 weeks,
you go back to square
you're
one.
Literally, I'm telling you now. Like,
I say that on my courses. I'm like, girls, please go straight into your case.
You have to, like, do you know what I mean? So basically then, so I was getting to kind of I was getting good at it, like, but I was just literally practicing myself. I was just basically begging people, can I do a set of nails on? Can you do a set of nails on? You know, God loved them. They'd be sitting there for like 3 hours, 4 hours, you know?
I know, yeah.
So funny enough, speaking of Sean Legend announced it was like a masterclass in Manchester.
No
so
way.
I was like, oh my God, like I was like, this is like an upskilling kind of thing.
I think actually I seen that.
Yeah, I think I never ended up doing it.
I'd love to do one.
Oh yeah, 100%. But so he was doing it, but it said down the bottom, it was like, you need to know how to use forms. And at the time, because my first nail course, I won't name where it was, I never learned how to do forms.
Yeah.
So then I was like in another little bit of a huff. I was like, oh, like what? Like, anyway. So I Googled where I could go and do like... But I
feel like, do you know the C-Corp tips now that you have?
Yeah.
That's the reason why...
That's 100%. They definitely, you know, mimic the look of a form. But I basically then Googled where I could do like an upskilling course in just forms, learn how to use forms. And then I stumbled across NSI. And NSI do forms, teach you how to do forms and tips in their course, but I never knew that when I do my first one, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So I went and done that then in October, I think it was 2019. And then it clicked for me. I was like, oh my God, love it. Like I was obsessed. Like I was like, that's when it all kind of clicked, all that. So I done that. I got a little loan off me nanny. I was working for my nanny's kitchen. I had my little table, my lamp, everything, my drill. And I was expecting people to like just come to me. You know what I mean? I think we all when we start, we're like, oh, my girlfriend's going to come to me, all this kind of thing. But they don't. Do you know what I mean? You think they're all going to be like, oh, they support you and all. But realistically, they've got their nail technicians and they don't want people practicing on them, all that kind of thing. So I was kind of like, again, went into a little bit of a grey area. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So some woman reached out to me and she was like, oh my God, I love your work. Would you be interested in table renting? You know what I mean? She was kind of just buttering me up, I think, to rent a station off her. Like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, she thinks I'm amazing. I'm literally doing nails like, oh my God, like what, not even 6 months at the time. So I basically went and did a little met her, all that kind of thing. And I rented the station off her for I think it was about a week. And I realised this is not it for me. Like, and then there was another salon opened in Crumlin that I table rented off. Then I went into there from I think it was like the end of November. And then I went in there just before Christmas time. So it was only starting, but it was a great time to start, like, because everyone was looking. Everyone was looking for nail apps at the minute. And at the time, I was using forms, like, so every set was taking about 2.5 hours. But they were good, like, do you know what I mean? That's where I met a friend of mine, Leanne Mitchell, Nails by Leanne. That's where we met. We met at this.
You opened the salon together.
Yeah, we opened the salon together. Yeah. So we met in the salon in Crumlin. We were both next to each other at the table renting. So that was December 2019. Then basically, I'd done a start your own business course. With the enterprise board.
I've done that.
Yeah, who hasn't? Like, everyone's done it. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think it was good. Like, I still to this day, like, few little bits.
I never walked anywhere before, and I remember sitting there and they were like to me, what did they say? They were like, they were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I want to open up my own salon. And they were like, well, you've never worked in a salon before. And I was just kind of like, all right, put me down, and never came back.
They literally, so funny story, they done the exact same with me. I was trying to like, so I went and done it, but I was looking for, I think they done this like payment scheme where they gave you a payment or rent or paid for your rented station or something to get you going. But it ended up that it had to be a room with 4 walls, and it had to be they just made it so hard. So I just ended up telling them to see you later. I don't need
I never
you.
went back after that.
That's the one thing I'll say about all, the enterprise board and all. They make everything so hard. They really do. Like, I think they make things very, very hard. So anyway, I done the course. I was delighted, and I'll never forget, I was on the way to work, and every day we used to come down to Windmill Road, and I used to pass this little corner shop, and I was like, now keep in mind, I'm doing nails about 6 months at this time, right? But I'm only properly doing nails since December 2019. This is probably January 2020. So I'm literally like, I think I was just like all in. Like, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So I used to pass this place every day, and I'd be like, I remember one day I went back down to where I was table renting, and Leanne was there, and I was like, this little place, and I don't know, they're working on it, and it looks like, I don't know, maybe it's up for rent. So I Googled that and actually came up for rent. And I was like, and it was actually cheaper than what me and Leanne were paying for 2 tables in a salon. So I was like to Leanne, I was like, oh my God, will I ring them? Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I rang, I spoke to my now landlord, lovely man. He was from South Africa. He was like, yeah, come and see it, and whatever. So we went on the Tuesday, went and seen it. And he was just real lackadaisy. We were like, oh, we have bank statements, all this kind of thing, because we were literally just getting going, like, at the time. So I ended up, taking it in February.
So you were only 6 months in and you were already with your
and
own
I signed
salon.
the lease. Yeah,
That's all. When I
Yeah.
seen your
Yeah.
salon,
Mm.
because it looked real different, I'd never heard of either of you
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh my God,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
came out of nowhere.
100%. Like literally,
And you were flying.
I was just like, I don't know what it was. I just was like,
You knew what you wanted and you were
I
all
knew what I
in.
wanted, but I never planned on like I never once planned on having a salon. I never planned on having staff. I never planned on having an academy. I never planned on doing products. It all just kind of like trickled into each other, if that makes sense. Like it was always just, I was very eager. Like, so I get very feel like I'm stuck very quickly. Like I'll be, you know,
you're on to the next
I'll be
project
like,
all the time.
right, I'm sitting here, I'm doing nails every day. I don't want to sit here doing nails every day. What's next? So keep on, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, me and Leanne signed the lease in February, and we didn't like, you know, announce it on Facebook or anything, I think, until like the 11th of March, but we were kind of just working there. And then we launched it on the 11th, and I think the 14th, then COVID hit the wall. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
everyone has that. Their story or some stage.
Yeah. It was definitely a big thing. Like, I think we were very lucky in the sense because we still had to pay rent.
Did it not get paused?
No, because it was. I think he said something like it was something to do with a South African bank or something. I don't know, but anyway, we were just like, we were given the option though to like opt out of the contract, but we were like, no, we're in it. Like, come on, we can do it.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we opened in July. It was, but when we came back into July, it was booming. Like it was like, but it was like everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I think everywhere when we all came back from COVID,
everyone wanted to get everything done because they were
exactly. But again, I think it was it was like the time when I went into the salon to work at Christmas. We had opened this very fresh salon just before COVID, and we've been kind of like, because we were doing like content and stuff over COVID, that when we came back, it was like, oh my God, the new salon, like we can actually go to the new salon, all that kind of thing. So yeah. So then fast forward until we were open and closing, and then I think Leanne decided to go and do her own thing, because I think it was very hard open and closing. She also has kids and family, all that kind of thing. Yeah. So I just decided to just continue on my own. Like, so that was January 21. And we opened, then that was the long haul. We were closed for a long time that time, wasn't it? It was like 5 months or something. I think we opened.
Yeah, I felt like we kept closing, opening.
Yeah, but I think from when I speak to everyone, I think that one from January to like May, that was the hardest in 21. Like, and then we opened in January 21. I was on my own. I had a girl table renting off me. She was with us kind of from the beginning, and then I had headhunted my first girl, Hannah. And
are they all still there with you?
Yeah, they're all still there with me. So Hannah was the first girl who was employed by me.
And did you reach out to them?
I reached out to them. Yeah, like the majority of the time, that's what happens. Like, you know, I'll reach out to them.
Yeah. Did you put up like a job ad, or did you just actually
No. The first with Hannah, I just liked her vibe. I liked her nail art, because the salon is so focused on nail art and new nail trends, all that kind of thing. I just liked her Instagram. I just liked the vibe, and I just dropped her a message, would you be interested? And she says, yeah, absolutely. She came in for an interview, hired her, and then she became really busy. I was really busy. And then I think about 3 months later, then I hired another girl, Holly, put it up on Instagram. She actually applied. She sent me a CV. We done that whole thing. And she's brilliant as well. She came on, and then I think it went up to like, last year I hired Martha. So Martha's the third girl as well. But they're all amazing. Like, I could not ask for better staff. Like, couldn't ask for a better team. They're amazing at what they do. And they all love what they do as well. You know, it's not just kind of like, you know, in and out. Like, they're all very passionate about like the nail art and, you know, making sure that the client is having like a really good experience. When you're kind of focused in nail art and stuff like that, you do get some, you know, people coming in, they're very like particular on what they want, and like they could come in and show you a dress, this is what I'm wearing the weekend, like go at it, like, do you know what I mean? And you have to be on your feet thinking about it. It's, you know, there's a few different types of salons. There's like the likes of ourselves, very focused on nail art, nail trends. Like, we're doing a lot of 3D stuff, editorial stuff, do some stuff for photo shoots. And then there's like the normal salon that you go in, it's really relaxing, and the lovely music and the hand massages and the plain chillax, all that kind of thing. But yeah, so our clientele can be a little bit, they like, they can be very particular on what they want, and I think that's why they come to us, because they can, get it. But yeah, so 3 staff and it's going well. It's like flat, busy all the time, like, which is great.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah. And so are you renting chairs, or are you?
So I'm not renting stations. The girls work for me at the minute. So I think that me and you had that conversation a while ago. How long ago was that you? So basically, you let the girls, your girls.
Yeah, they're renting.
They're renting now. Yeah, and they were working for you, weren't they?
Yeah. So I only had 11 staff in total, probably January.
Wow.
And that's what I sat down, and it was lashes and nails and stuff like that, and we were literally flat out, and I just kept sitting down and looking at my figures for every year, and I was just kind of like, because it was during COVID, I didn't get a chance to properly sit down and look at them, because I was like, right, I can't say looking at the full year, you're like, right, okay, I was closed for 6 months, I can't look at this as a full year in total. But then when I sat down, the full year that we had last year was the only year that we were open from start to finish. So then I sat down and I was just like, right, I'm probably balancing out. There's no profit. And then I'm not going into, I'm like, so what am I? I'm working to make no money.
Yeah.
Like, I'll keep this going.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm probably putting myself under so much stress for not making any money for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah. I definitely think I can totally understand where you're coming from. I know that we had this conversation a while back on kind of looking at things. I think it's like, I don't know, for myself, I think it's like, because I'm a smaller salon, I think it is very, very hard with, VAT and tax, and then
it's what you can charge.
Sick days and holiday pay and all that kind of thing. And if you're not like, on your finances and, really good at that and having a really good accountant, it can become very hard and get a little bit, messy sometimes. But yeah, it's just the margins are very hard. I
just feel like what you pay to basically like what you're getting back for, say, a set of nails or a set of lashes, what your overheads are.
Yeah. It's really hard.
It's ridiculous.
And it's also like, I've recently put the salon's prices up in the shop, and it's not that I want to make an extra €5, €10 a set.
You're making this worth your while to have a business and be a business owner.
It's literally to pay, you have to pay wages, you have to pay VAT, you pay electricity, you pay rent. Like, there's so much that comes out.
People don't realise that.
€50 an hour. Do you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people, they just would say, oh my God, they're just pocketing that. You know what I mean? That's not the case. Like, the margins are very, very, very slim at the minute. Like, do you know what I mean?
And that's why there's all these conveyor belt salons where they just take cash. Why do they take cash?
100%. Like, do you know what I mean?
They don't pay their taxes around.
It's not that. I couldn't agree more. Like, do you know what I mean? It's very, very hard. Like, I think with clients, like, I think the majority of people do totally understand it, but there's definitely people that, they don't understand that, you know what I mean? And I used to have people like, coming in the door and, you'd be like, how much is the shellac? And I'd be like, €30. Like, do you know what I mean? They're doing it for 15 down the road.
Yeah, and they're probably only taking cash.
Go down the road. Do you know what I mean? Like, go down.
I don't want clients like that.
It's not because I'm not being. It's like because when people come with that mindset, they're just looking at
a bargain.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just like you could sit there and explain yourself and be like, well, look, this is. I have to pay this and I have to pay that, and this is costing this. I'm also using like one of the best brands on the planet on the planet at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, I use all the gel bottle, all my acrylic stuff is all NSI Attraction. It's all really good, expensive stuff.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's not just Do you
ever sit down and do your costings for every single treatment? I've done it for every. It took me like a week.
Yeah,
and I was just kind of like, I was looking at it and I was like,
it's definitely a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to basically say is that, like, last year it was great. Like, it was good and it was all that kind of thing. But I just definitely feel that I think it all comes down to products at the minute. I think that nail products are just extortionate. Like, they really are. Like, I go into my barbers and, they have their clippers and that's it.
It's all,
Do you know what I mean?
it's all the stuff that they can reuse.
They literally have like their clippers, they you know, their blades, and you know, whatever else few bits they get, like, you know what I mean? Nails.
And there's their cleaning and stuff,
Nails is like I don't think there's like, I think nails and hairdressing are the industries with the most products that you have to use. Do you know what I mean? Like every step doing a set of nails is a different product. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, your manicures, your prep, your primer, your, you know, acrylic, your monomer, like there's so many products. So I just feel that, I definitely feel that recently from speaking to other friends in the industry, that everyone's definitely feeling the pinch when it comes to, you know, product. I think it's definitely product that's making people, you
I
know?
feel like as well, it's what everyone is charging.
Mm-hmm.
And because like that's what we were talking about this before as well. Like, I think we've set this price for everybody that everyone is afraid to put their prices up.
I could literally talk about this for days. Like, and like when I'm doing my nail courses, I almost like give them like a pep talk on knowing your worth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the truth of it is that when you're pricing yourself, you're putting value on your head. Do you know what I mean? In my mind, do you know what I mean? Nails, first of all, is a luxury service. Okay, you don't have to have your nails done. Okay, but if you look at like the likes of like America and, you know, a lot of other countries, like
Australia as well.
Australia, like you go in and get a set of acrylics. Your plain set of acrylics like $150. Do you know what I mean? And then you have like really, I've seen like some amazing nail technicians in Ireland, like really good, better at acrylic than me. And I charge like €45 for a set of acrylics, and I know that's not making sense. Like that just can't make sense.
I feel like it's a fear of putting your prices up.
It's a fear of losing clients.
But then that's what it is. I was watching something and it was like, if you put your prices up and you lose a few clients, are still making the same amount of money and working less.
So if you double your prices in the morning and you lose half the clientele, you're still going to make the same amount of money.
And working less.
Do you know what I mean? And working less, so you can put your energy into something else in your business, stuff like that. And that's the truth. A perfect example is like, so we hadn't put the prices up in the shop since we opened them. Like, no, that's a lie actually. I put the prices up in 2021 when I kind of had like 3 staff by $5. So
I had more. I put my price up by $5 and there was more. I was like, I'm going to whip out my whiteboard and be like, here's, and go live on my Instagram.
It's for
people don't get it.
For me, it's soul destroying, like, because it's you're basically trying to prove
make
to
a living.
People,
you're trying to make a living out of it.
You're trying to prove to people you're like why you're worth it. Like, do you know what I mean? But what was I saying there? I was saying something there before about. Yeah, so I put the prices up there about 2 months ago now for the first time since 2021. And I was fighting with doing it. Like, I was really like, I don't want to do this because I know that you'll definitely lose some clientele. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do was I was gonna put my prices up more than the girls. So the girls' prices were going to go up, but my prices were going to go up more than that. Okay, so my prices were going up substantially more. Like, do you know what I mean? But this was also not substantially. Like, I think about 10 or more, right? And the girls were going up at 5 or more for some services. Okay, our nail art is still the same at €1 a minute, whereas other salons like our competitors and stuff are €2 a minute. So we're still cheaper than the competition or whatever. But so I put the prices up, and like you definitely are like, oh my god, you've had to put post up and explain, like, it's because of the climate and all that kind of thing. But you put it up then, and like you definitely lose some clients, and some people it's not that you're
but then you're opening up your books to
I
everybody
always
else.
say it's, and I mean this, I don't mean this in like, a snotty way or anything, but like it's not that you're too expensive. It's just that person can't afford you, in my mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You set the tone for how you value yourself and your prices and stuff like that. And people don't have to pay it. Like, people don't have to come to Nails by Aaron to get a set of acrylics. You know what I mean? They have many options in Dublin. Do you know what I mean? And that's just nature of the beast. Like, do you know what I mean? People will fall off. But then what you see then is you have space then for people who come in and they'll say to you, I've wanted to get an appointment with you for ages and I'm delighted to be here, and like, can I come here? Like, can I be a regular and all this kind of thing? So don't panic, like, do you know what I mean? It all does work out, like, do you know what I mean? But definitely know your worth, like, you know. Like, I'd rather not do it than do it for too less, because I know my worth. Yeah. Like, I'm the one who's, you know, sat in my kitchen and grafted, not having any money, and, you know, really putting in the work and getting my shape and my, you know, all my you know, just really putting in the work to get the product that I deliver to my clients. Do you know what I mean? So you have that. It has to all come into account. Like, do you know what I mean? And then the majority of people are just amazing, and they really, like, they lift you up and they'll be like, you know, oh my God, I love your work, I love that, and then notice little things that, you know, you think that they don't notice, and I don't know, like, I just
That's what
you can talk about it for hours, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I put my prices up now, and I'd feel like they're much higher than a lot. Like, I think my lashes are like over €100 now. I don't really do appointments that much anymore, so I half the time I forget about my own prices. But now I'm kind of like, I actually don't even care. No one does. If I have a gap there, I can do something else with my time. I'm like, if someone doesn't want to book, you don't want to book.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And they can, and they don't, like, no one's forcing you to go to Demi. No one's forcing you to go to Aaron. As I said, there's so much more options other than me and you. Do you know what I mean? And there is girls that are doing it at home who have no overheads, who aren't registered for that, you know, who aren't doing all these. So
I'm probably collecting something else off the social welfare as well. Yeah.
So there's an option for you that's cheaper. Do you know what I mean? And they're going to be amazing. Like, do you know what I mean? But I definitely feel like that there's definitely some clients who will vocalize it to you, and they'll be like, you know, what, you're charging this, okay, she's down there, but but I'm not forcing you to come to me. Do you know what I mean? I know my worth. I know how good my work is. Yeah. And I value myself. Do you know what I mean? So just, you don't have to come to me. Do you know what I mean? You can go down to Suzanne down the road who's doing them for €40 or €50. That's fine. But and I don't know, like, that's how I feel.
I know. That's how I'm like,
it's all love, though.
Talk
do you know
about
what I mean?
this
It's
for
all
years.
love. Yeah, it's all love. But I just think getting back to, like, what you were saying in the beginning about, you know, nail technicians and nail artists in general, know your worth. You know what I mean?
I feel like if everyone, like, I feel like it's not.
No, it's just, like, know your worth. Like, I just think that, like, everyone should come together and, like, value yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's I
feel like if everyone done it, then everyone would just follow.
100%.
Where everyone's scared.
I feel like by me putting up my prices, people will look at me and say, oh, but you know what? Like, I'm doing nails longer than him and he's charging more than me. Do you know what I mean? But that's because I know my worth. Do you know what I mean? And I've worked for, you know, my graft, and I've worked for my craft, and, you know, I now know. Like, I remember, like, a couple of years back when I was just getting going, I would do them for free because I wanted to do them so badly. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to, like, you know, lay acrylic and file, and I feel like when you really are passionate about something in the beginning, you want to learn, you will do it for free, and that's no problem at all. But I then got to a stage where I was like, no, I know my worth. Like, do you know what I mean? And I rather value myself. There's nothing better, you know. I've so many amazing clients. All of them are like friends now. Do you know what I mean? But they truly are really happy when they come in, and they really, you know, you can just see that they understand what you do and they appreciate what you do. They have no problem paying you, and they're tipping you like €15 tip as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what you want. Like, do you know what I mean?
You don't want someone who is.
No.
I had a course the other day, and I started talking about price, and I'm trying to bring that in as well, so people aren't leaving the course and charging absolute buttons. Like, so that's what I was saying that to them as well, as in, like, if you're fully booked, you might as well put your prices up than to lose clients.
100%.
And then what was it? I'm literally after losing it now. What were we talking about there?
About putting your price, you were saying in the course about putting your prices
Yeah.
up.
So I was basically just trying to get them to, like, I was like, don't be even charging what's around your area,
Yeah.
because everyone around your area is probably undercharging themselves.
No, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not all about area anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Years ago, when you'd be going for premises, it would all be about like footfall, all that kind of
It's
thing.
all social media.
Instagram is your shop front. That's in my mind. That's what I say. Instagram is your shop front. How you how you portray your Instagram, that's your shop front. That's what's gonna make people go, oh, I want to go there. Like look at the photos, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone kind of picks, like anyone who I was talking to someone the other day as well, they picked like their CrossFit gym by just looking at different CrossFit
That's it though.
Instagram
Do you know what I mean?
accounts.
It could literally be like with gyms, it could be like dark neon lights and all that looks cool. That's the way it is. Like, do you know what I mean? We're visual consumers, you know, naturally. You know what I mean? But
it's word of mouth as well, I feel. 100%. Social media is a big thing.
I think that they're the two. It's word of mouth and it's social media. Like we're based in Windmill Road, and I'd say I do 2 people from that road. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? They're all my clients. I have clients coming from Dundalk, Killiney, like a lot of people from like Rathfarnham, Temple Oak, all that area. Tala, like everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So they're not just from Crumlin, and it's like people. I've one girl, Jay, one of my OG regulars. She comes all the way from Dundalk. Like, do you know what I mean? And she's been with me since the very, very beginning. Like the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And but she's just like one of your dream clients. They're just it's an occasion every time they come to get the nails done, and they know what they want, and you know,
a little chat.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So bringing back to doing your courses. So what courses do you teach then?
So at the minute I teach builder base, BIAB, and nail art masterclass. I can teach NSI's acrylic course in the salon, but for me, I'm just not at the minute getting a lot of people looking for acrylic at the minute. It's all BIAB. Like BIAB. And the great thing about the BIAB course, it's a fully accredited course, and it's a 1-day course. Now you get your case studies and your exam at the end of the day and all, but it's kind of like, it's great because it's only 1 day for the BIAB course. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the acrylic courses, I think they're 4 days over 4 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So they're a little bit, but I'm just not at the minute getting as much demand or anyone asking for acrylic courses.
I feel like it depends what time of the year.
100%.
I've been teaching it the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's like some part, like, you know, now everyone's just more about holiday, worrying about the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before when it starts getting a bit colder, and everyone's kind of like, right, what do I want to do with my life
big
now?
Time.
Summer's over.
Yeah, 100%.
Need to get me stuff together.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, definitely. But I'm just not finding a demand for acrylics at the minute. Like, even in the salon, it was like everyone who done acrylic had to drop the acrylic brush and go and buy a bottle of BIAB and learn how to do BIAB, because it was like
everyone's BIAB now.
It was such,
I have BIAB on me now.
like everyone. It was such it was just such.
It just switched like that.
Yeah,
like,
it was really like the whole natural nail thing. But I just love doing acrylics. I really
know,
do.
You can
like,
do it. No one gets nail art anymore.
Yeah,
everyone just wants French.
Do you not think? Yeah,
French.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of girls that, you know, having like their natural nails quite long, I'd be like, would you just go back to acrylic and stuff like that? But acrylic, the thing is with acrylic is acrylic will hold its shape a lot more than BIAB. Do you know what I mean? Because the material is a lot more harder and stuff like that. So you can get like a really nice square and stuff like that with acrylic.
I know.
With BIAB, you can't. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit more difficult.
And I don't understand why. Like, obviously, it's a bit quicker to do. But when I done out my costings to do a set of BIAB is actually expensive enough, depending on what brand you're using, because you use a lot of the bottle, especially if they're a long nail.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, when I done my costings out, I was like, that makes no sense. And then I put the BIAB up, and it was talking about prices again. Here we go. Literally had people ringing the salon being like, this is extortion and all. And then it was like the girls be like, Demi, there's been 5 people giving it to us this week, and I literally was like, well, tell them to ring me.
I just feel like, and I'm not having like, I'm not how do I say this? I'm not like making any less of other industries, but you know, girls will go out and like pay €70 to get the makeup done. That will last like 6 hours. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't.
Can I just like, you know, they will that, and I'm not saying that it's not worth that, because it is, because, you know, that makeup artist is worth every penny, and they should get that. But the girls will go out and they get the makeup done for, you know, 50, 60. I know some girls that get done for 70. And they're going out.
I'm dying to know where this place is now for €70.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
And they're getting it done. And it's lasting 6 hours. Do you know what I mean? But if a girl has to pay €50 for setting nails that last 6 weeks, it's like they're putting up a bit of a front about why is it
it's
this,
what people are expected to pay. I feel like it's the standard. I was listening to a podcast there, and it was a girl who lived in America that moved over to the UK. Their prices are actually a bit cheaper than ours, I think, because it's more there's more people doing them. I had a girl coming over from Manchester.
Where's this in the UK?
Yeah, so she moved over to the UK. She was going to go start doing lashes again. She had she built up a big clientele in America or whatever, and then she moved over to the UK and she was going to do them, and she was like, you know what, I'd rather work for minimum wage over there. She was like, I'm not doing lashes for £50 or whatever. She was like, where I was charging $300 in America. So it's crazy, like.
It's mad, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I can't imagine getting like 300, like.
And then it's like a required tip.
Yeah.
So did you ever see TikToks? People phoning up me like, so this is what I earned, and like.
And it's just like bags of cash, like it's just like.
Yeah,
tip,
you're like, what? And then they're like, and then the tip was $100, and you're like, you got tipped $100.
$100,
yeah, it's crazy. It is a luxury.
People like people. I don't know. You'll always have people that that really love your stuff. Like I actually had this. I had this client, and she was loved my work so much that she flew me to Marbella to do her nails. Right, yeah, and she paid me $2,000 for the day to go to Marbella and do her nails. Yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah,
no
swear
way.
to God, yeah. And then
that's the clients that you want.
But that's like.
So she paid for your holiday and everything.
Oh, I was there for a day. I flew over for a day, done her nails, went home.
And she paid for your flights and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Oh my God, stop it.
Chauffeur to collect me from the airport and all. It was amazing.
Oh my God, stop.
But there's people that like genuinely will love you so much and love your work that they'd be like, you know, I want this. Like, do you know what I mean? And for some people, money is no object.
And I feel like now it's not like, I couldn't imagine myself going a couple of days without nails or lashes. Oh, well, I don't get lashes done now. But
there's always people that will have their preferred beauty treatment that they'll always have done. Like some girls won't go around without a set of eyelashes. Some girls won't be seen without a set of nails. Do you know what I mean? Some girls won't go around without a blow dry. You know what I mean? But
and I feel like that's all. So I feel like it's more of, it's not even like a want anymore, it's a need. We're so used to having all this done, so if everyone put their prices
I'm thankful for
it'd
that.
be done.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that like all, you know, people in the nail industry should just know their worth and just be like, you know, I definitely think like if you're thinking in your head, I want to put my prices up. Should I put my prices up? That's the time to do it, because you're obviously in your head, you're knowing, you're feeling that you're getting better. You're feeling that you're worth a little bit more. So that's the time to do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
And so, so which are products then? So, what products?
So products, I don't do a lot of products. Like I'm. Again, I kind of go through phases where I'm like, you know,
you want to do this,
I want to do this, I want to do that. Yeah. I've had a product for what now? Like since about 2 years. Cute clothes. So I came out with a line of cute clothes, and
I got one of your nail art brushes.
Did you? Yeah. And then I have my nail art brushes as well. So the cute clothes, we have like 5 cents. We have like watermelon candy floss, lavender, tropical, and I'm not sure the other one anyway, but they're basically cute Colloid pens. They're all handmade by myself. I get the oils from Wicklow, an oil distributor in Wicklow, hand make them, but they're really good, like, do you know what I mean? And they're great. They're a great little add-on for people when they're going out at the salon, and, you know, people need to use cuticle oil. I don't think people realize how important cuticle oil actually is. Like, I think they think it's just like some, like, I don't know, like they don't. It's just like just rub this on my cuticles, but it's genuinely a great product. Like, it really is. Like, especially if someone, I always say if I'm ever doing like brides or anything like that, I just give them a cuticle oil. I'm like, put that on your cuticles the morning of, because you don't want to have like crusty cuticles and you're like photos, you know, when you're getting, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. So the cuticle oils, and then I have my nail art brushes. they do really well. They're an 11 mil nail art brush. I have them manufactured from China. They're really popular. They're the nail art brush I use for literally everything. You know what I mean? I went and done a masterclass, actually, funny enough, going back in January 2020, just before I opened the salon, with a nail artist called Anastasia.
Yeah.
She's from the UK. She's shit hot. Like, she's amazing. But I went and done a masterclass with her, and she kind of showed us the brush to use. So ever since then, I use this particular brush, and then I found a manufacturer in China to make the brush for me, not our own gloss nails one. So we made that. I don't really have any. I have one more product that I'm thinking of doing. I'm just trying to find, again, a manufacturer. It's very hard in line, isn't it? Like, trying to
sampling things. You want everything perfect. You don't want to just jump on whatever you get.
It's very, for me, it's very tedious. Do you know what I mean? It's very, getting samples in.
By the time you get them in,
and then I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think it's hard when you're trying to run a salon and look after your own clients and do an academy, But
how many would you do? Many appointments?
Yeah. I do appointments. I'm like 10 to 7. Now I could see. It's always, I think, like, everyone thinks like, oh, you'll hire staff and you'll take a step back. That just does not happen for me. Like, it just, like, I hired staff and I just felt like I needed to be more involved. I needed to be there more, just watching what happens. Like, the girls are amazing. Like, if I'm not in there, like, for example, I'm not in there today, like, the girls just run the show for me. Like, they're that good, they're really professional. But I'm doing clients, so I work Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. I used to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When I started, like, I would take anyone, like, and I'd be very accommodating as well. Like, if someone was this is going back now about a year, so I'd be, oh, I can't get in with you. I'd literally come in on my day. Sorry, I'd come in on my day off to do them. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm like, no, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's it. And then I'm working on Tuesdays. I'm doing admin. I'm doing payroll. I'm doing, stuff on Tuesdays and Mondays. Like, so,
there's a lot. Like,
how do you juggle it? Like, you're like, how do you, like,
that's why I don't do appointments. I haven't done appointments.
Yeah, I don't know. Now. I think you're literally Wonder Woman. You're doing podcasts. You're doing courses, the salon, like, everything. Like, I don't know how you manage it all.
I took so much on. There's a lot of things that I kind of put behind. I kind of paused it.
Yeah.
That's what I had a website getting made. That's been paused because I think I'm just kind of running myself into the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Just with stress and
it's
stuff.
It's so hard. Like, it really is hard. Like,
that's what I was like. Do you know what? I just jumped into everything and I was just like, oh, I'll manage it. And then I'm there, like, just getting stressed out, like, being realistic. Crying every couple of days. And I'm like, this is not worth it.
No.
I'm doing a lot, even with the podcast now. I was like, there's a lot going for me that I should be happy about. But because I've taken so much on, I can't wait for it to be all over.
Do you ever feel so stressed that you're just like, you're in a room with someone's talking shit, and you're just not even in the room, you're just thinking about everything else? Like, do you know what I mean? Actually, my landlord, who I rent the shop off, he used to be a business consultant. He's a really successful man. He used to be a business consultant. I was only having a conversation with him last week, and he was saying that what happens he linked me this book anyway to listen to it, and it speaks all about this. But he was saying that basically what happens with a lot of people who are creative, they pick up a hobby, let's say, for example, with myself, nails, and they become really good at it. But then all of a sudden, it just kind of like free falls into this business, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And what happens is, because the person is so worried and stressed out on running the business and looking after staff and doing the academy and all, it kind of pulls away from
the creativity
and it also pulls away from, like, your love for what you do, and you can almost become a little bit resentful or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I could have a client sitting with me sometimes. The majority of the time you catch me, I'm great and I'm there and all. But some days I'm just so in my head about stuff that I'm like, I'm almost having this conversation with my client, and I'm not really there because I'm thinking of something, and it's very hard to be in the
someone
moment
will ask
sometimes.
you, like, you'd be in the middle of a conversation and someone says something, you ask them the same question, and they're like, oh my God, they know I'm not listening. And you don't mean to. You don't want to come across as rude. You don't mean to.
I think with myself, what that is that's like, I'm not giving myself enough time to focus on other things than doing nails. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So therefore I'm doing nails and I'm thinking of the stuff that I should be doing. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I don't know how you do so many appointments, like so many days.
But
It is hard to take.
The thing about that is that comes down to like my loyalty to my clients, and I'm just like,
And you're afraid to lose regulars.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's like comparing it to the situation with the money. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to lose people who don't see my value. I'm afraid to lose people who see my value and have stood by me. Do you know what I mean? I'm afraid to like, oh, I'm backing off now. But this girl's been with me 3 years and has stayed through me through COVID and price increases and stuff like that when times got hard. You know what I mean? So that's something that it is hard. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's what I was. When I opened the salon, I worked from Monday to Saturday and Sundays as well. I think because I was on my own.
Yeah.
And
do you do courses on? When do you do courses?
So I started now it's every day.
Yeah, wow.
Well, not every day.
Yeah,
I kind of every
days.
Yeah. I try to, because obviously you don't want to like say have a brow wax and tint course every 2 days. There's only so many courses that I can do in a month. I don't want to have like you don't want to, you know.
Of course, yeah,
have
makes sense.
Too regular, because then you have only a few on each course. So I've literally lost what I was saying there.
About you do courses every day?
Yeah, with the working. So when I only opened the salon, I was working literally every day of the week, and I anything that I wanted to do, any goals that I had, I couldn't do it because I was doing so many appointments.
Yeah. See, last year with myself, because when I launch a course, like I literally put up my Instagram there last night, like how I know when to do a course is when I'm getting messages, when's this. So like last night I got like 3 messages about one course. So I was like, right, I have to do a course. So I put up a thing, you know, I want to do a biop course in July, I want to do an nail art course in July. And I literally have like 17 messages like, yay, book me on, pay deposit. That's when, but I launched one in January and I got like 2 people signing on. Do you know what I mean? So I postponed it. Do you know what I mean? So it's all, I think I just know when to take the bullet. But with the academy as well, it was like last year I was looking for a separate premises to rent for the academy, because what I do is I take down the salon and set it up as you've seen it. Like I put all the fold out tables up and I set it up like an academy, but that in itself is so much work.
I know.
So I was literally
had to do that with the other place, moving beds around,
know
moving tables around.
So I was literally like looking for another premises. I was going to see other premises, but then I was literally like, I had to take a step back and I was like, wait, I don't want this. Like, I'm actually happy with doing them when I want to do them, and you know, at my own pace. That's what I feel like has been like a pattern with my salon. It's like it's kind of like progressively grown by itself and took legs by itself. And sometimes I have to like take back the reins and be like, no, hold on, do I want to rent?
You could probably
space?
find somewhere that is just renting.
You can rent it by the hour, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Or like on the day.
Yeah. I think I'm happy with the way it is though. Like I think I'm happy with, no, I'll do them, you know, when I want and in the salon and you know, that kind of thing. Like, but I definitely think that, you know, I think businesses can just take their own legs and walk. Do you not feel that? Like, do you know what I mean? And then sometimes like I'm just like asking myself, like, is this what I want right now?
Do you want to jump into this?
Can I take this on? Do you know what I mean? You know?
So what would be your next step or your next goal?
My next step and my next goal is, I don't know. I'm at this kind of like, I think they call it like the 3-year itch. Do you know what I mean? Like because I've kind of like, I'm doing nails really good. I've got an amazing client base. I've got really supportive friends. I've got, you know, the courses sell out. What is my next step? I don't really know at the minute. I don't know whether I want to look down other avenues. I was thinking about going back to college next year to study nursing. To pursue.
And how many days a week is that? How many hours?
That would be full time. That would be full time.
So will you still be how many?
I would. So basically, this is the whole of the thing. Do you know what I mean? I want to kind of, my ultimate dream would be to go into something like aesthetics and skincare and dermatology, all that kind of thing. That would be kind of like the long-term plan, but still doing while I'm in college, all that kind of thing. Still doing nails, still having the salon running, all that kind of thing, you know. But with the salon, I'm really just happy with the way things are at the minute. Like I'm just like I'm happy to kind of like get my reins on it and just let it flow. I'm actually doing a big renovation on it now soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a big renovation, new windows, doors, floors, furniture, the lot. It's due because it was kind of done on like a shoestring budget when me and Leanne opened it in 2020. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's due.
Are you still keeping the same colours and everything?
No. It's going to be like Skims vibes. You know, like it's going to be all very neutral, all that kind of thing. A lot of greenery, stuff like that, you know. So that's where I'm happy with just the way it is. Like I'm happy with it, just like it, you know, having my team, doing my courses when I want to do my courses, you know, going at my own pace. You know what I mean? Because for 3 years I was just running with it and literally let it take me on a gallop, like, do you know what I mean? And now I just want to kind of take my time, go at my own pace. I definitely, you know, that's how I feel.
That's what I feel like now with all the stuff that I took on. I'm kind of like, I'm like just trying to get all these done to kind of have it finished now and just relax a little bit.
It's like take a step back. Like you don't need to be, you know, like
on the go 24/7 now.
The only person that we're in competition with is ourselves. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just go at our own pace. Like, you know, do I want to be doing this and doing that? And no, I don't at the minute. Right now I don't want to be doing that. I want to just chill. I want to come in and do my clients and have a clear head, all that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So right now I'm happy doing that. Like, you know, who knows? You might talk to me next time. I might be like, I'm going to open 6 salons, all that kind of thing. I don't know. But right now that's
actually what I wanted to do. And then when I looked at my figures, I was like,
no, I can't even think about it. Like,
another salon.
I would have one big salon. Do you know what I mean? I'd have no problem with having one big salon. Having a chain of salons, like, no, not for me. I'm all right, Darren. I'm all right. Like, I'm all right. You know what I mean? I'm good.
You went to English too,
yeah? Yeah, I was doing Gemma Collins.
All right.
I'm all right, Darren. I'm all right. But I'm all right now with the way things are going. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, unreal. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
So for anyone looking out to reach out to you to make an appointment or do a course, where can they find you?
You can find me at Nails by Aaron with an extra N on the Aaron on Instagram, and my salon's handle is Gloss Nails Dublin. The Gloss Nails Dublin. Yeah.
Unreal. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for listening. I hope you enjoy it. If you're looking to reach out, you can find us on Instagram at Unlocked Potential or on our website, demisnailsandbeauty.ie. See you next time.